What's going on, guys? It is your boy Wilbur. If you guys are liking the comment chat, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become part of the crew. I'm gonna give my top 5 right off the top of the domey. I didn't write anything down. I'm just gonna go right off the top of my head of the top 5 contending teams when it comes to basically being NBA finalists. So at number 5, unlike some other people, I actually have the Milwaukee Bucks. Honorable mention is going to be the Lakers at number 6. I just personally think that the Bucks, if they're able to get back Middleton, coming back with a healthy squad, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday, the supporting cast, I think that Giannis has something to prove to everybody to just remind us, like, you know what? I'm that guy. I'm Mr. Antetokounmpo. I'm the Greek freak. I'm here to show it to you, baby. I think Giannis has something to prove this year. It's been a while since he's been in the the finals last few seasons. So I think this is a time for Giannis to really step up his game, make sure that he is healthy, because last few seasons we've seen Giannis deal with these little nagging leg injuries. So hopefully he's able to address those. But if they come back full potential, I have the Milwaukee Bucks at number 5. At number 4, I'm sorry to say this, but I have the team that I personally think a lot of people need to just remember how good they are. And I hate of how good they are, and I don't want to see them win a championship. But at the end of the day, you got to put a team like Golden State in the top 5. I don't think you can leave them out. I personally think that if you were to take Golden State over the Lakers, you're basically choosing the right team. I think last year was a little bit of a fluke when it came to just obviously the chemistry that happened with Golden State. They do acquire Chris Paul, which I know a lot of people really don't like the fit. I know someone like Stephen A. Smith wasn't a big fan of it, but sometimes, I'm not saying I question his knowledge of the game, but sometimes I feel like he's very cookie cutter. Sometimes he doesn't think out of the box enough and kind of sometimes just reiterates what someone else may say or just agree with them. I have Golden State as a favorite over that Lakers team. I still think the Lakers, of course, are a decent team. That's why they're at my number 6. But I just don't think they're better than Milwaukee. I don't think they're going to be better than Golden State. You get a healthy, Seth, you get a healthy Steph Curry. We get Klay, another season under Klay's belt after the 2 injuries that he suffered, the ACL and the Achilles. So we're starting to see Klay come back. Now, if we see old school Klay, there was no need for Jordan Poole. You can get someone like a Chris Paul, who you can actually run with that starting lineup when you run the really, really small ball. Just another point handler, allowing Steph to basically run off of pick and rolls and also screen and shoot. So you can also have Klay. I think Steve Kerr is going to come up with a ton of amazing plays when it comes to double screening shooting, to where basically Chris Paul will facilitate. And then depending on who's open, whether it be Klay or Steph, he's going to kick it out to them. They're going to pop a 3. So I think we're going to see Chris Paul really work especially well with that second union with the young guys of Kuminga and Moody. So I'm super excited to see what the Golden State Warriors do. Don't want them to win, but they got to be in that top 5. At number 3, I have the Phoenix Suns. Now, the talent is compared to none. I personally think Phoenix has one of the best talented rosters, but it's not a deep roster, so I can't say they have the best roster. Of course, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, these are scorers. We're talking about dudes that drop 30, 40 in their sleep and have done it. But each of these guys have dealt with injuries over the last 2 to 3 seasons. Booker, usually with leg injuries. KD, of course, leg injuries. And then Bradley Beal as well over the last 2 seasons. So I don't know what we're going to see when it comes to this Phoenix Suns team. I don't think, I hate to say it, this is the team out of, besides maybe the Clippers, that could use load management the best. They will benefit from load management, and I think we'll see the Phoenix Suns do that. I think the Suns will try to stay around the 4 to 2 seed to try and basically, still get a decent, obviously get that first home matchup in the playoffs, but if they also go to the second round, to get the home court advantage. I personally think the way the Suns roster works out, they can just sign some mid-level exception players. They have an opportunity when it comes to just being able to provide a high-scoring roster. And you also have DeAndre Ayton as well. I can't forget him. So just the talent alone on this team is spectacular. It's just, can they stay healthy? And I would love to see DeAndre Ayton take that next step and get around that 20 to 25 average per score. Number 2, you guys are going to hate me. I got the Denver Nuggets. Now, yes, the reigning the reigning, defending champions Denver Nuggets, because I'm a little bit biased. So my number one, of course, is going to have a little bit of a biasness to it. But I think with the Denver Nuggets, what you have is just a very, very good roster, overall talent. I also don't think that they don't have that third star. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that's necessarily needed, but I think in this coming playoffs that you'll see is, hey, they don't have that third star. Can MPJ, Michael Porter Jr., take that next step? Will we see Aaron Gordon take that next step when it comes to being a scorer? And then, of course, you just have the great surrounding cast. I believe Bruce Brown has opted out in free agency. I believe so. Let me know in the comment section down below if I'm wrong. I have to check on that. So if he doesn't come back, that's a very big piece when it comes to just spot up three shooting in the corner. And there's also a great defender. You still got KCP. You still got Braun taking that next step, the young kid who basically balled out during the playoffs. So I still have Denver at 2. I don't think there's anything wrong if you had them at 1 or 2. I'm not saying I can't argue it, but I wouldn't have a big fit if you decided to put Denver at number 1. But my number 1, it's a little bit biased, but I think there is a great explanation of why they could be number 1 and why they should be number 1 is I have the Boston Celtics. Now, hear me out. This team is putting out probably one of the best starting fives in the league compared to maybe the Phoenix Suns when it comes to just talent, overall production, and scoring. You know, Phoenix is probably number 1 because of, you just got four all-stars basically. But so do the Boston Celtics. Well, they have 3, but the role players and the bench are a lot better than Phoenix. So the Boston Celtics, you keep Brogdon. That's huge. Brogdon is a very good defender, and he's not a bad facilitator, and he can also spot up on the 3. If he can stay healthy and you load manage him with Derek White, I think switching him in out with Derek White and basically kind of splitting the minutes and maybe getting, and obviously you have Peyton Pritchard, if he can kind of take that next role, you can kind of alleviate the, not the pressure, but the strain on Malcolm Brogdon. So we got Brogdon at the 1. You got Tatum and Brown 2 and 3. Then you can slide in someone like Porzingis at that 4 and then put Robert Williams at the 5. The thing with this is Porzingis just opens up the lineup a lot more. Al Horford is getting older. I think it's like 37 going on 38. So you don't need him to provide in that starting lineup. I only want to see Horford getting between 10 to at max 15 minutes per game, keeping him fresh, coming in off that second unit as someone that could basically run the small ball or big ball second unit and basically be a spot up shooter when it comes to popping off the pick and rolls, sitting up at that 3-point line or even in the corner and just waiting for someone to drive in, dish, and kick it out to him. I think the Celtics lineup right there is just amazing. They also have Danilo Gallinari coming back, and that's basically like adding another player. He didn't play last year because of the ACL tear. If he comes back to even the player that he was, they have just amazing 3-point shooting coming off the bench with Hauser, and I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot his name. He's also a very decent 3-point shooter. So the Boston Celtics have a roster, and they can go 7 to 8 to 9 guys deep. And then in the playoffs, you just kind of tighten it up between, maybe 8 to 7 players. So I got Boston Celtics as number 1. They are my favorite to win the NBA Finals. 2 seasons ago, they lost to Golden State to where they should have won that series. Last year, falling so short to the Miami Heat. I think this year is their time to get that number 1 seed and then take it home and become NBA champions once again. Since 2008, it's been a long time. 15 years since the last championship. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Is my rankings bullshit? Do you guys agree with it? Let me know who you got from 1 through 5. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become part of the crew. It's been your boy Wilbur. Peace.